Welcome back to the worst movie podcast in the world, and welcome to the worst movie podcast in the world for people who haven't seen another one. I'm joined this week by Ryan. Ryan, want to say?
I
Say
want
hi?
death.
And Decos.
Kill Cameron!
Hey, I didn't do
Cameron gave me
anything.
chlamydia.
You did everything
Yeah,
wrong! You screwed up the intro.
I didn't
Try
screw
to
up the
recover it.
intro. I didn't screw up the intro. Look, we
You
rolled.
know what you did.
I don't know anything that happened.
You took my job.
Yeah, Joe isn't here this week again, and we didn't get a fourth person because no one else wanted to watch this film. So
Hey.
that's exactly what happened. I'm not even exaggerating. That is exactly how it went. We tried to get another person, and they actively did not want to see this, so it just didn't happen.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of friends. So,
Fucking roommate, you could
we
watch
asked
it.
two
He
people.
would have literally been on a couch next to you.
He had to
Yeah, he
grind
should- he just-
Apex. He had to grind Apex. He's trying to get to master. I think he made it, but that's what he was doing. So yeah.
Bit of lore from the Cameron.
Yeah.
Cameron
Actually,
lore.
wait. What was the name of the film again?
The worst person in the world.
The worst. Okay.
The
so
name
yeah.
of the fucking podcast, dude. This is the film that the podcast
The
is
worst.
named after.
Yeah. So this week we watched The Worst Person in the World, which I feel like hasn't really pulled a lot of strong emotions from me in the cast, but obviously like Ryan it has. Look at him. He's bubbling. He's ready.
Yeah.
He's ready to froth. He's ready to
It
froth.
seems like the Ryan sort of film.
Yeah, it seems like a Ryan sort of film, and I commend it for that. It's got a little cat animated cat thing in it from that picture I saw. That's pretty cool.
Boob in
Uh,
one scene.
Yeah, exactly. It's got things. It
Yeah,
happens.
look at-
Hey,
film
hey,
by
do not sell it
Jessica
short. There are
Boobs.
many
People
people that-
discuss things. There's people in it. It's great. Right. So Ryan,
Times
why don't you
tops
give
at
us
one
some?
point.
Yeah, right. Why don't you give us a quick, just little summary, quick rundown of the film, like what you thought, what kind of happened in it, just so the viewers get and listeners get a vague understanding of kind of the premise of this thing. Since it's your child, this
You
film.
don't know what
you
happened, do you? And you're too scared to ask.
What do you mean? Just Ryan, come on. Just I
Son of a
think you should.
Basically, it is just set in Oslo. We follow this young woman called Hula, around in
Not
her
young,
life.
she's
Man, like
30.
hula hoop.
Hula hoop. No, she was
Hula
like,
hoop. Yeah,
I like
she's
hula
very young.
hoops.
like late 20s, early 30s. It's still young, right?
Favorite
Yeah.
flavor of
Not
hula
in
hoops?
retirement.
I always like salt and
Mm,
vinegar
good
hula
for
We
hoops.
just sort of, follow her around in her life, and that's kind of all that really happens. It's definitely not like a plot-driven movie. It's character-driven.
Yeah.
So it's driven by the character. You just follow the character, and it's what sort of happens to them in their life. There's never a sense of it's going anywhere. It's where you are now, and you're sort of dealing with what is happening in
Yeah.
that moment.
And there's an animated cat in it. It's crazy.
And there's an animated cat as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there is
Yeah.
an animated cat. Personally, I
mean-
think she's an idiot.
What, the
Like, she
woman?
was gonna get-
That's
she
Hula
why
hoop?
was
it's
a
called
woman.
the worst person in the world, because she just makes
Yeah,
terrible
I
life
agree-
decisions
I
over and
agree.
over and over.
I agree. First of all, who
He
goes
agrees.
from being like a surgeon to wanting to become a fucking photographer? Like, I'm all
Hula.
for
Hula
following
did.
hopes and dreams, but
Maybe.
one's a high-paying job, the other one's taking a photo.
Yeah, but maybe the high paying job was stressful.
Like,
But
he's
she,
the
but it was
least-
in
the
the
least
in the intro bit. She explained it. She didn't like the
Photography-
there's a correct way to do surgery. She didn't like the definitive answers of surgery. She wanted something,
photography.
That is a terrible
is-
reason for not wanting to be a surgeon. Just saying. There's a certain way to get a heart. How I don't want to do that. I'm going to do it my own way. Fucking kill somebody.
Photography is
Add a bit of
work of-
personal flair to this heart.
Yeah,
I did the heart upside down.
yeah. I put it upside down, did a little bit of a Banksy on the side of it. I think it'd be great.
Yeah,
What?
branded you. Yeah.
But yeah. Well, thanks for running us through that little lax, so kind of covering
And
the
now that
base.
Karen knows what the film is.
Exactly. No. We all spent the time to sit down. There's that animated cat after all. So I mean,
That's the only fucking bit you're mentioning, and it makes me think that's the only bit you remember of the film.
that is no. I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean. There was that girl called Hula. She was after the hula hoops.
Name one other character. Name the cat. Name the cat.
Okay,
I can't even name the cat. I know more than cat.
wait.
It's really fucking easy. I'll give you a clue. It's
Wait.
6 letters long and 3 of them are cat.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
you start talking about assholes and how they're censoring assholes from that cat. That's one.
Yeah, it's crazy. The cat's crazy. All right, the cat is a kooky,
You can't
crazy
name the cat.
fella.
You're deflecting from the question. Name the cat. You have half the word, and half the word is fucking cat. Okay? Come on.
Pat cat.
Jesus. It was Bobcat.
Oh, anyone could have guessed that. That's a bad guess. That's
Yeah,
a bad
literally
guess.
anyone other than apparently you.
I was just thinking of Postman Pat and his cat, and I got all caught up and confused.
I would have had more respect if you just said hat cat or cat hat.
Pat cat. It's a cat with a pat. Goes for a pat. It is what it
All right,
is.
let's move. Let's move on.
Yeah, we're moving steadily
Move
into
on to
the
evil.
logline shutdown. Let's see what people, some. Oh, I almost need the off button on my PC there. That would have been bad. Should probably stop moving around so much. Ryan, why don't you start us off with the logline
Why?
showdown?
Okay, you're just coming to me here because I can actually talk about the film.
Don't know what you mean.
Come
Come on. Let's see what you got.
My logline is James Corden was not in this movie, and so the title is inaccurate.
Ooh, that's a good point because James Corden
He
is kind of a dick.
is the worst person in the world. I
He
mean,
is. Did you guys watch Cats? I know
he's
you have, Ryan.
Yeah, I watched Cats. I hated him.
The worst living person in the world, anyway.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. I'll give you that.
James Corden's so bad. We literally, shipped him off to America.
Yeah,
he could
we
go
did.
there.
Even
And now
America
he's trying to
don't
come
want him.
back. Who wants him?
No one wants him. I
America
can imagine him getting his
I
own
say
island.
now.
I say we create in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean a small island, and half of it can be Britain, half of it can be America, and then we just put James Corden on it.
I feel like he'd
And that's
flourish
where he
though.
lived.
He'd become the king. He'd become king of that little island, like hoard just animals and loose debris, and become the king of them, and then create a late night talk
He
show
would do
with them as the
carpool
audience.
karaoke with the local bird life.
Yeah. No one wants to see that. No one. Especially
I
not
kinda
me.
want to see that. I think a singing bird.
Matt, you listen to singing birds every day of your life.
I do. That's
Yeah.
true.
There you see. Trump.
Don't.
Right. Decos. I think you
You
should go.
clearly aren't living.
Yes,
Where
this
do you
movie
live?
title
Is there, I guess,
is-
no trees? You live in Milton Keynes. Decos, would you like to present your logline to us and the audience?
No, I don't want to. Mine's similar to Ryan's. This film title's false because it doesn't star Hitler.
Oh God. Oh, we got the worst person in the world
wrong?
is James
I
Corden and
politically-
Hitler.
Politically-
One
know-
committed
Politically
crimes
correct.
against comedy, the other crimes against humanity.
Which is worse?
No,
We'll let you find
so I
out.
believe that-
We're gonna put in the comments. Whatever comment.
I don't know. I mean, is it a particularly
I mean-
open book of who is worse? Objectively, Adolf Hitler
or James
or
Corden.
James Corden.
Leave a comment down
mean-
below. Put James Corden if you think it's James Corden. Put Hitler if you think it's Hitler. Whichever more there is, we'll talk about it next week and definitively say that's the worst person ever in the history of humanity. Surprising. Anyway, I'm willing to commit to my logline here. If people are prepared. So my logline is also the title for this movie is not accurate because it is Pat the cat in it. Little Pat the cat chilling, the little animated cat. He's not the worst person in the world. He elevates everyone else around and makes them better than the worst. Exactly.
Technically, it's not a person.
So it's fine. So that's
You don't know
my summary of the film. Pat the cat.
You don't know what crime
You
cat
definitely
has
didn't come up
committed.
with that in the past 10 minutes, did you?
No, that'd be morally wrong, right? Well, you know,
Considering he
morally
didn't even know the
ambiguous.
cat's
Let's
name.
leave it at that.
Oh.
Definitely not morally wrong.
This
Ambiguous
is
at
already a
first.
fucking disaster. Let's vote and.
We go to the
who's-
votes. Who can
We're
get
in
that
a little
point?
heat wave,
What is
we're
the little picture going to
struggling.
be? It better be of the cat. That's all I'm saying.
Right, in this situation, Cameron goes first. Cameron, who you
What?
Cameron goes last.
Oh, I go
wins two.
last? Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, Dekos, you're up first. Boo.
Oh, Ryan.
Ah!
I will return the vote to Dekos. Cameron, you didn't even offer a cat. You knew what the name of the character was. I told you, and you still got it wrong in your logline.
It's because to
Get
me,
shamed.
he's always been Pat. He's been sweet Pat the
This is
cat.
I
why
hate
you're not
you.
getting a point.
I think this is what exactly what I should. Can I vote for myself? Is that an option?
No.
No.
Then I
No,
have to vote.
That's not good
I
democracy.
gotta vote for Joe.
You can't vote for
You
Joe.
cannot vote for Joe.
Let this end.
All right. Let me think. Well, Digos, no. Well, Ryan started the trend of the thing, but I feel like Digos perfected it in the after thing, so I'm going to give the point to Digos.
How did I
That's
get a
right.
point?
That's
The cat.
right. Give him the little cat picture as his point. I like the pictures for the points. I think it brings a little wholesome vibe to it. Got a little
It's just
animated
gonna
cat.
be,
God.
I reckon this is gonna be a lot of me talking because I can actually talk about them.
Yeah, Digos.
Oh, so I watched the film.
So did I. I remember Pat the
It's
cat.
one of those.
Pat the
Talk about the
cat.
theme. Talk about try and focus on like the themes at play.
Right, there we go. There's the point. Solidified in Digos is there. Right, what are people at now? Joe's at 5. Digos is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, Digos at 6. Ryan's on 3. Ryan's on 8. 3. Yeah, 8.
How
Goddamn.
many are you on, Cameron? I
I'm on
forgot.
a nice crisp 0 because people are working against me. All right, I'm pretty sure you systematically
You
got
tried
Jason.
to bribe the judge last week.
Didn't happen. I do not recall that ever occurring.
If you ever get a point somehow, Cameron, I think there's gonna be an inquiry into
An
how that point was obtained.
An inquiry. No, it'd be fine. It'd be fine. I think I deserve one at this point. At some point, I deserve one.
You got any
I think.
copies of your bank statements?
What if I
the ju-
actually showed evidence that I'd written down and planned a logline?
It's still not good enough. You need the official stamped document.
I think I saw the
which
stamp
is
it.
That's a 37B. You can only get that from Department H7.
I can do that.
You need that approved by a employee from 7X. So if you can get all that, we can go for all that bureaucracy.
I'll get into the general
will.
discussion. We're blowing through this today. We're blowing. Holy shit! Is that an animated cat? Look at him go. What is he smoking?
That's the same. Okay, there's only like one image of the cat.
What's he
Or at least there's
smoking?
only a couple. Smoking a fag. With the
Why?
cigarette. Can't say that word.
Whoa, Ryan.
We're a multinational podcast.
Who's the chick in the top left?
Bruh.
Right, okay, general discussion. Let's get some talking points down here. All right, like you said, Ryan, let's get a little bit of structure going. Let's get the heat off my back. Let's pull up some things. Let's find out where we're at. Where is it? All right. Let's talk about the story to start off with.
Actually, I want to start off on a different note because I want to start.
You want to start off a different section?
I want to start by talking a bit about the Oslo trilogy because it's not important to understand the film, but it's just a bit of flavor. I would like.
All right, add a bit of context in, Ryan. Swoop in.
All right, so this film is by Joachim Trier, a Norwegian filmmaker, and he has made 3 feature-length films, all set in Oslo. There is 2006 Reprise, 2011's Oslo, August 31st, and then there's this final one, The Worst Person in the World. There's no, consistent story to these. They're different films. Completely. It's just the same actors, and they're all set in Oslo and by the same director. So
Yeah,
it's not
like the Cornetto trilogy.
You could watch them backwards, and it would still make as much sense. It's just generally the themes, the settings, and the actors tend to be the same.
It's like it's Norway's version of the Cornetto trilogy, right? Like kind of something
Yes,
like that.
Norway's Cornetto trilogy.
Man,
where,
Norway's got it rough. Anyway, keep going.
Look, it's in Scandinavia. They don't know what the sun is. Okay, you try and be merry when it's dark for 20 hours a day.
I'd be merry. I'd be chilling in the dark. Oh, to be fair, if I was in the dark 20 hours a day, I'd probably be seeing animated cats called Pat too.
But I mean, anyway, of the three, this is definitely the most upbeat, the most jovial. Which, I'm guessing to you two, comes as a bit of a shock.
Yes.
But yeah, Reprise is about it's essentially train spotting with literature. It's about writer's block and sort of the people around you and like how your relationships with them can, I guess, affect you as a person. You've then got Oslo August 31st. Just skip a bit ahead if you don't want spoilers for that film.
Guys, no one's doing that.
Yeah, no one's doing it. But, you know, maybe someone is interested in Joaquin Phoenix's film.
Alright, that's
Okay,
fair.
maybe
The one guy. The one guy.
But that film is essentially about a former drug addict who gets out of rehab for a couple of days and decides to kill himself after realizing from talking to his friends and family and trying out for a job interview.
Man, he did not clutch the
He
gulag.
essentially is now stuck as a drug addict and there's no real way out other than death.
Jesus Christ. What are you doing, Ryan? Yeah, you're spiraling us down here, man. You're spiraling us down.
Look, okay, I'm just building up because these are the other films, alright? But The Worst Person in the World is by far his most upbeat film. Particularly with almost it changes in style throughout. I don't know if you guys notice this, but it sort of begins as like a rom-com almost. Then transitions into more of a pure romance around about the hour mark, and then the final half an hour feels like a very heavy drama.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Man, nothing's making sense right now.
That's it. Look, okay, it changes the style pretty effortlessly. You don't really notice it.
I'm cooking.
I quite like that about the film.
Just let me have a lick of my fan, please. It's all I need. Anyway, yeah, I feel like the more delirious I get, the more sense this is making. But that cat is giving me the side eye. What does he want?
Stop talking about the goddamn cat.
He's looking at me. He's looking at me funny. I don't know what he wants.
Minor part of
I don't know what he wants. Why is he smoking? They don't smoke. What's he gonna jack it up for? He's got fur. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense, Ryan. My ass is stuck to my fucking seat. It's so sweaty. All right, Decos, bring us a fresh perspective here. I'm losing my fucking mind. Ryan's going on about I don't know what he's going on. He's lost.
I was adding value. Okay,
you were adding value. You were, but he's still
Look,
spiraling.
I can get us back on track.
Look,
let's talk about the goddamn first bit of the first.
I've got the sections here. We can just talk about the story. Let's see what we thought about the story.
Because the sections within the story is more complex than this. It's a better film than that. Okay.
What?
Let's talk about the goddamn fucking start of the film where it's like she's deciding what kind of person she wants to be.
I don't think she wants to be a person at all. I think she wants to be a cat in a jacket. Why would she see the cat if she didn't want to be the cat? Doesn't make any sense. Also, I like the shot of like the little coffee thing in the bottom right hand corner. Look, they've got a little coffee. They're holding hands. That's pretty cool.
Bro, that's like the most depressing bit.
Yeah, but it's a cool shot though. I'm talking about a shot.
It is. Oh no, that's for later. The lights, camera, and action.
Well, we can.
Decos, are you gonna say anything?
Is he gone? I think Decos is gone.
It's
just you and me, Ryan.
It's the two-man.
It's just you and me. You know what? I'm gonna publicly say this right now. I did not see this film.
Wait, did you actually not watch it?
There was a bit of a kerfuffle. Where we couldn't view it.
I didn't watch the film, so this is.
Yeah, I heard. Fucking dickhead.
Where were you?
My mic was on mute, but it wasn't telling me it was on mute. So yeah, that was fun. I thought the film did a very good job of making me dislike this person because I did not like the choices she did. She was a
What
stupid ass person.
what specifically? Could you elaborate?
Well, one, she cheated on that guy that she took a photo with, and
Right.
two, she's got a good thing going on, and
You gonna say the
so
surgery
she
again?
needs it. No, she's got a good thing going on with that guy who does
Mm.
the Bobcat comic.
Wait, someone did a
So she
podcast in it?
no, the comic, the
Oh.
Bobcat. So
Oh.
she freezes time to kiss a guy that's in a relationship,
What?
Yeah,
and then
that
breaks up
that
with
bit
the.
that is like probably my favorite bit of the whole film, where she
I
freezes
like that
time.
bit. That was a good bit.
Because
What?
I mean,
It was simple and
that is where
effective.
as well you get to see like fucking beautiful assholes
Alright,
as well.
explain this to
Yeah.
Kind of
to
which
me
is
and
the
the
one
people
constant trick.
listening. Like, just give us a brief rundown of how the whole freezing time thing works. Because me, from an outside listener to this,
She
like a
turned on a
viewer on
light
the
switch
podcast,
and
if we
time
hadn't seen
frozen.
if they hadn't seen this film, it'd be a bit kind of jarring because it seems like it's kind of, you know, it's like a realistic take on things. So why?
It is a realistic take.
So how's she able to freeze
It's
time? Is that like, do they kind of like explain that at all? Or is it just how it kind of
flips the
happens?
light switch and time freezes. That is it.
It's basically
Is
a
it more in her
metaphor
mind
for
then, or
choosing.
does it actually
It
happen?
basically is in her head.
Oh, so it's in her
Yeah,
head.
it's
All right.
Well, I like to,
it's
I like
sort of like what she wants, and in that moment she decides that she wants to
Yeah.
be with Einvald over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Well-
basically a
Of
visual
Axel.
representation of her being
Elvin.
with him, and her mind being with someone else.
Yeah. Yeah, I was about to say, it
It
seems
was-
like it's
it
a
was-
good way
yeah,
to
it was-
visually represent something rather than just telling the audience. It's like showing them it in like a kind of like unique
It was
way.
simple and clever. It
Yeah.
was simple and clever.
Yeah, I think that sounds like a good way to go about things. It sounds like the filmmaker knew what he was doing. It's probably the effects he was doing, like, you know, what he was going through with the trilogy. It wore off in the last one. Yeah, no, not cinematography. I just meant like, I didn't mean effects. I meant just like, you know, the work he's done over the course of like, you know, working on these other films and like with these people before. You know, he's kind of like honed his act, to, like, come together in this last one. That had a pretty nice scene by the sounds of it, from an outside perspective, of course.
Jesus Christ.
That's what it sounds like you guys are describing. So yeah, kind of going off that, if you had to pick a favorite moment in the film, Ryan, it sounds like you would have picked that. Right?
I'd pick that. I also really enjoy sort of, I guess the first time she, you know, when she leaves the part. So when she leaves Axel's like big, like, I guess, grand opening party, and then ends up, we're going to that thing, and you know, the not cheating sort of thing with Elvind. That bit is amazing as well.
Yeah.
I find it. Yeah, that was
You
pretty
got
good
as
bit
well.
as
She
well,
like
so.
when they like sort of agree to leave. They're both like, you can see over her shoulder, like sort of him looking back and her looking back at him, but they're doing it at different times and shit.
Yeah.
So
Simple,
who are
classy.
those characters in retrospect to her, though? You know, from an outside point of view.
Everything's gonna be from an outside point of view.
She wants to fuck.
Okay.
She wants to fuck people she knows, friends of people she fucks.
Mm-hmm.
I like the whole scene at the start where she was in that cabin with the others. She's the youngest because Axel
Is
like in his 40s, and the whole talk of children and that. The way they did arguments, I quite liked with the camera and everything.
Yeah.
This film, everything was.
This film, and I think this is part of why it reviewed very well with critics, and maybe even as well why because this film has 400,000 like people who watched it on Letterboxd, which I would say for a Norwegian film is pretty it's pretty mainstream. The appeal that this film therefore must have found. I mean, it's being picked up by like all four.
That's a lot of people.
I usually see it being used to like advertise. I think it's like Mubi as a streaming service.
Yeah.
So
wait, what's a streaming service?
It's Mubi, I believe. Or
What
Mubi
is a
or
Mubi?
something.
Mubi?
What is a Mubi? Yeah, this is
I've
apparently
never
the
heard of
most
that as a
popular
streaming
film
service.
from Norway, according to
Most popular film from Norway. I'm trying to think what other Norwegian films I've
Vermont.
seen.
Frozen.
All I can
Troll.
think of is Troll.
Yeah, Troll is another popular one.
Because that was the one that's put on Netflix, right?
That is, but apparently far less popular than this thing.
That Troll was shit. That's why. Absolutely horrendous. They did a better Troll movie. It was like another one to do with trolls. I don't know if it was in Norway. It might have been, but it was like a mockumentary type thing. Have you seen this? Where like people like
No.
it's like obviously like mockumentary. People going around like checking out we heard it's like a student like they're like we're students like trying to do some research about like these like troll things. And then shit just like hits the fan, and these trolls just start like sprouting up, and they just like basically go on troll hunts, just like trying to get footage of it. And then just the trolls are just like fucking them up. And they make this one guy like tapes loads of pans to himself. He's like, it's alright, the trolls, they can't break through my pans. And he just gets like fucking hit like with a fucking boulder and just like smushed everywhere. And they're like, oh well shit, Pan guy's dead. We're gonna get the fuck out of here. Now that was a good film. I like that one, but I don't remember what it was called at all. It wasn't called Troll. It was completely separate.
90% of this podcast talking about other films.
Yeah, man, watch
Yeah.
Troll. Not that Troll, the other Troll film. Maybe it's Troll Hunters?
It's one thing I can imagine from European countries around the world. There's a lot of good films about.
Yeah.
But because most of them aren't English for obvious reasons, they're not really talked about.
Yeah.
This one,
there are
pretty
so
sure
many
I've
bad
seen
films.
in advertisements before.
Yeah, this
It seems like one of those ones where I've gone, oh, okay, that was interesting, just moved on.
Yeah.
this film definitely had mainstream appeal, because I think as well a
Yeah.
lot of, I guess it isn't like, I wouldn't even say massively complex. It feels almost Hollywood, like classic Hollywood in a sort of weird way, where it's like,
It feels
no,
oddly
it's
similar
just it's
to
a
an
very
Anderson film or
the
something
base
like that.
premise is like a very simple love triangle sort of thing.
Goddamn
So-
Twilight.
Goddamn Twilight. This is just Twilight, but without
Yeah.
the vampire.
But yeah, so going back to classic Hollywood thing, Ryan, you've got me intrigued with that. You want to like kind of delve into that a little bit more, like kind of like tell me why you kind of got that vibe from the film?
I guess it's just fucking La La Land. It kind of is a bit I don't know.
What specifically though? So you said the love triangle. Was there anything else that kind of like sprung up, like really like caught your appeal, like made you think of that
Just,
classic
like, I
Hollywood
think-
vibes?
The only reason I'd say it's a bit, I guess the main reason I'd say it's a bit like La La is just almost like the Dream-esque
Yeah,
sequences.
yeah.
That's what La La Land
I
is
cottoned
about.
onto that from the picture of Pat the cat. That there must have been some kind of like dream, like random bullshit going on in this.
That
Or at least,
was like
yeah.
a drug hallucination where they dropped mushrooms.
Of course. No, but that's cool though.
because of some like crazy Sammy chick.
It's a good way to incorporate different visual elements. That's for sure. It's having like hallucinations and like drug trips and stuff in like a like more
In a very grounded film.
in a grounded
Yeah,
film. You're like, right, how do I get some like weird shit into this? You like some drugs? Every time, baby, every time.
Alright, you know what? Let's talk a bit about the cat, because Cameron clearly.
I do want to know more about this cat, actually. So if you guys could bombard me with information on kind of like what his role is in the thing.
This cat is just. It's a cartoon that Axel, right? Like, right? So it's called Bobcat, and it essentially I guess it's sort of like a gamer comic where it's like tailored to that audience of like. Basically, it's you. I'm pretty sure it exists in the film. So later on, there can be one scene where some dude where Axel argues with like a feminist, and it's kind of funny.
How does that go down?
There was a whole conversation in the film as well about it was being turned into a film, wasn't it? And he was
It's being
complaining
turned
that
into
there was
a film.
censored that they removed his asshole and how the asshole represents freedom or whatever bullshit like that.
The asshole represents freedom, Decos. Okay.
It does represent freedom. That is, yeah. They're always
Freedom.
censoring it.
Poo from the bear.
Oh my god.
Fucking damn.
But I mean, to be fair, like his his like cartoon is like this super adult thing, and then it's clearly like a family Christmas movie in like all the advertisements and shit they show.
Yeah.
Mm. They're marketed that dumb wrong.
Yes. No, but maybe that is what it is. It's got his it's got his name on it. It's his character, but that's kind of it.
We are the worst movie podcast in the world, so we don't talk
And this
about
is the
in-depth shit.
worst episode so far. Jesus Christ, we could talk more about a documentary.
I think we're holding together pretty well.
Cameron, you did not watch the film.
It's alright, it's alright. I got bouncing off points. Bouncing off points. Don't worry about
the geometry dash of films, and we're dealing with it with a fucking hand behind our back. Oh.
It's alright, because then when we succeed, we've succeeded with a hand behind our back, so it's no problem. Right, let's talk a little bit, though. I kind of want to know what you guys thought about just the general acting in it. So, like, let's move on to like the little acting section. What you guys thought of that? How you thought the people were doing? Did you think they did a good job? Do you think I'm assuming the main woman did a good job, like with her being a fucking clearly she did. Since she managed to sell. I've heard both of you tell me how you thought she was the worst person in the world. So the fact she managed to sell the title of the film, she must be doing a pretty good job acting wise, right? She's got some chops on her.
I think the acting was commendable. I would say I did like the acting. If it's one of those films that if the acting was shit, then that film would have been shit.
Yeah, it kind of just that's the point of the film, is that like the characters and the actors are good.
Yeah, on point. Yeah,
that's fair. I get that. It's an important piece. It's an important piece of the pie. It should be in every film, but especially in these films, it's probably it makes up a larger chunk of it. So that's cool. Ryan, what did you think of it? Did you think did you think she was the best actor in the film, or did you think that maybe some people who weren't the lead managed to take that?
No, she is definitely the best actor in the film,
That's
and the
cool.
acting in this film is really good.
Yeah.
I believe this sort of launched her career as well, because she did win a BAFTA for Best Leading Actress.
Goddamn BAFTA!
Yeah, no, her acting. I honestly think her acting is like amazing in this film, and I think it's why it works, because it's so character driven that if you didn't have convincing, like your leads aren't convincing, or they're, I guess, nothing less than perfect, it just doesn't work this well.
Yeah,
this is what keeps your attention in the film. Is what drives it forward is these strong performances. But
yeah.
Even though, because of course, we're watching this in a foreign language, so you do lose, I think, a bit of, I guess, vocal communication.
Mm-hmm.
Where, maybe you'd pick up on, how, if it's in your language, you'd pick up how the words, indented or said a bit differently. Their non-verbal acting is still so good that you can pick up on what they're trying to go for, and characters are feeling.
Oh, yeah, the mannerisms and the movement.
Yeah, the mannerisms, their movement. It's just all on point. Maybe all film long.
The film is on point, and the voice acting can be a bit. It's difficult to fully understand the voice acting when you don't understand the language, but everything else helped. It made you realize what they are talking about. If that makes sense.
If you're given a complete performance, then it still gets through, even if you don't understand. Yeah. Absolutely.
That's completely fair, and I think that's a good way to kind of sum up the acting for this film. I feel like I've got an understanding of it now. I haven't seen it.
I think particularly it was very strong at the end when.
What happened at the end?
Karen, you didn't watch it. So
yeah, what happened to me?
Basically, about the midpoint of the film, she breaks up with Akers.
Yeah.
No, I keep calling him Akers. His name isn't Akers because his name is Anders, and I watched 3 films. Okay,
right.
And I can't remember the characters.
I'm assuming that was her original boyfriend, right? Yeah. So that's her original boyfriend.
Yeah, her original. Cool. Well,
yeah, the one she started. The first one. Yeah.
A serious boyfriend, we see.
Yeah, and then she breaks up and goes with Elvind, and then later on she never gets back with him, but basically it turns out he has pancreatic cancer, and so she sort of goes now that she's broken up with Elvind, goes and like finds him to have
Yeah.
like a talk. And in that bit, that's where the film becomes like a very heavy drama.
Yeah.
And I think is where some of like the best acting throughout the whole thing takes place.
Oh yeah, the actor was pretty good in that bit. So
Yeah.
they had a weird, they had a weird talk with her dad just before they broke up, didn't they? And there was a whole, right, it's not cancer sort of thing.
Yeah, I guess I
Because
guess foreshadowing, right? It's
okay,
like you
yeah, I
bring
guess you could.
it's it's not fucking Chris Nolan's gun, it's Chekhov's gun, where it's like you bring up an idea or a concept that you're gonna use later, so you put it. It's very subtle. It isn't like an over. This is foreshadowing. It's almost like it's just bringing up an idea, so that later on it was already in your subconscious in a way,
Yeah.
Hmm.
which I think is much better than the way Chris Nolan does it, where he just tells you the plot of the film. It's just stellar.
Ryan, leave Interstellar alone, all right?
Fuck you, fuck Interstellar.
I've never seen
Okay.
it, but I've known a lot of people like it. Just leave it alone, all right? Doesn't have this extra beatdown. Just chilling.
Does.
Interstellar's just chilling in the
Doesn't
back.
that much, but
Oppenheimer,
does.
though. You're excited for
Oh.
that, Ryan? Oppenheimer?
Do you mean Barbie?
Barbie?
Barbenheimer.
I mean, Barbie's been given a PG-13 rating. Who knows what's going to happen in that?
I reckon you see Ryan Gosling's ass, but only briefly.
And it's all like plasticky looking.
It just looks like that.
It just looks like he hit a bit of an accident. There was some like, goddamn Gosling.
When they were doing like Detective Pikachu, they got him confused with Ryan Reynolds, so he was turned into a Pikachu for like a couple of hours, and that changes
That's
a
the funniest shit we've ever seen.
Funniest shit we've ever seen.
turned
I remember
himself
watching it.
into
Detective
Pikachu.
Pikachu was chill. It was a chill film.
So that's the thing, because it's all about like her decisions, and she's considered the worst. Like it's called the worst person in the world because her decisions always seem to be the wrong one, at least to you as the viewer. But
Yeah.
then again, it's kind of like, where if you were in her position, you might also make those same decisions because her life, she sort of feels like her life isn't going anywhere. When in reality it is, but at the same time it isn't. But it's just it feels like it's going nowhere. Sort of.
Yeah.
Oh.
The film is just about her constant battle between the progression of her life naturally, the progression of her life, what she wants.
Yeah, what she wants and what she has.
But she seems like the sort of person you get throughout the film that just wants to constantly progress. She doesn't understand the fact that sometimes it's going to
You
take
have to just be
slower.
happy
Sometimes
where
it's
you
going to be
are, sort of
quicker.
thing.
You have to be happy in the moment, and then it will eventually get to that point.
Yeah.
But her
She
bad
doesn't realise that
decisions,
until it's too late, almost.
yeah, which cause her bad decisions.
Damn.
But
That's
Very
actually
easy.
I think that's a good way. It sounds like a good. That's given me a lot of clarification on the film. I think that was a good way to talk about it. It seems like it'd be a really good
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
you should have watched it.
Should have.
Watched it. You had the means. You said you would.
Camera, the action,
Oh,
maybe
okay,
like a
fine.
quick
Talk about
little bit. Tell me what you thought about it, Ryan.
Yeah, the film looks fucking beautiful, bro. I think it has. I guess so. There's some of like the more standard shots that you often see in this sort of indie drama, but then there's also, I think the guy was given a bit bigger of a budget because he was already quite a well-known filmmaker.
Yeah.
So, and obviously as well, this film, had international appeal. So, I reckon it must have to make some of the more interesting shots, as we already mentioned before, where she sort of like this time. That probably were taking quite a lot because there's you've got a lot of extras who you having to just stand still while she runs through
Yeah.
cars and shit.
Yeah.
Also got
Standard
as
still
well,
is hard.
just more interesting camera angles. Like if you're looking at the video, you can see when I guess. Axel is in the. I'd assume it's like an end of life facility or something he's in.
Oh man, it's got way too depressing, real. Look at you, you're talking all
Yeah.
depressing. Come
I already
on.
told you he died of pancreatic
I
cancer.
know, but then you're like,
Okay.
I know life is sick. Ryan, don't drag the feelings
Yeah, well,
down.
you know,
Don't drag us
it's
down.
a tough subject. It's
I
like,
know, just talk about
this
that.
is not the. It's a bit happier than his other films, but it's still not like,
God damn.
goddamn
Terminator 4 finally comes
Ghostbusters.
back.
That's fair though. You're making a good point. Please continue.
But yeah, like there's some more interesting like shots, especially in that sequence. And just overall, it's just so well shot. It just looks beautiful. The film just looks beautiful, despite the fact it's got no special effects.
So we're going to the scores. People are losing their minds. Right, let's see what people thought
Yeah.
about it. Digos, you stop.
You
Where
can't
would you
even
rank
give
it?
a score for this. You didn't watch the fucking film.
I can give it
That
a
is true.
spiritual score.
It will count. It won't count.
It won't count, but it'll be spiritual. Based on what I've heard from you guys,
You know what,
I'll give it a
Cameron?
rating.
You can give your spiritual score first. I want to hear this.
All right. Well, based
Yeah, I
on what
wanna
you
hear
guys
your
have been saying, I think it
score.
sounds like a solid B tier film.
Oh,
Ah, well. Is it
way
going to
higher
count
than if
now?
you'd have actually watched.
We're good at
Maybe you guys,
selling things.
yeah,
right?
maybe you guys are just good at selling things. I don't know. Yeah, I think that's
It's
where I
not
put it. But it
business.
sounds like a good camera work. It sounds like a good acting. There's some chops to it. It dealt with some heavy themes, but it also sounds like it dealt with them pretty well. So I mean, where else would I put it? It sounds like it's a B tier movie. I mean, I'm not a big fan of like as heavy things, as heavy topics. I like to usually be like brought like upbeat through like films, which is why it's probably not an A or an S. It would have been an A or an S for me.
Child.
So I'll go for a B. No, Diaz, it's because life is depressing. I don't need my media to be like it too.
I need my media to be like it to remind me why I keep going.
Preach. Look, you need to. Sometimes you just need to know that someone's making shittier life decisions than you.
But they're not real.
Yeah.
They're real to me.
Ah. All right, that's fair. All right, Digos, you go.
Ryan. Well, no. Let's do Ryan.
Mine. Personally, I'd put this in S tier. I think this is just an amazing film all around. Lovely acting. I love almost like the directionless plot. I think it works really well. That you're more focused on the characters than you are on some like bullshit heist.
The heist
I can only
is the
think of-
best bit.
I can only think of heist because I watched the Fast and Furious film. Yeah, and
I immediately
more like-
went to Nicolas Cage, so we're different.
I
Cage.
thought of Ocean's 11.
Got
Ooh,
it 60
Cage is
seconds.
amazing.
We
He's
gotta
the
steal
best
the
actor.
Declaration of Independence. Oh, in the new Flash film, he does a cameo as Superman
I've heard.
because I can't remember what he
yeah,
did.
he
but
was
said-
supposed. He dressed up as Superman one time. Yeah, I think he was auditioning
Yeah,
for that, like the 2006 one.
Yeah, the one that well, I can't remember Brendan Ruth, what his name is.
Yeah, I know the guy you mean. God
Yeah,
damn.
that's pretty chairs.
But apparently the CGI in that new Flash film is like whack as hell.
Like a video. From what I've
It
seen,
looks
looks like a
hilarious.
video game.
I need to see it as soon as possible just so I can just laugh. It's gonna be a great
Like
time.
it makes Ant-Man and Quantumania look good.
Yeah.
All right, and anyway, back to fucking what I was saying about the film.
Well.
Good amazing acting. Love the non-plot. Second time watching it as well, it was still was good on a rewatch because I guess you already are invested in the characters, so and you notice these little things that you didn't before going on. Yeah, I don't know. I just enjoy that. She's not like a perfect character, but you're still kind of rooting for her as well.
Yeah. That's the best kind of character.
Sort of rooting that she'll make the better decision, but she never does. But then it's like, yeah, S tier.
Explanation, beautiful.
Yeah, thanks, bro. Very cool. All right, Decos.
Yes.
Whoa, why's your ass so fancy, little?
That's
Look
what
at
the
him
S
go,
looks like now. His little son.
little son.
Fancy. I'm joking. I give it an S. I agree with Ryan. Ryan basically said what I was going to say, so I give it an S.
Yay.
Skip
Wait.
that bit, John.
So this.
Am I wrong though?
No.
I don't know. Right, okay, so I gave it a B. Degas S. Ryan S.
Yours doesn't count though.
Oh
'Cause you
shit! It
didn't watch
doesn't.
the film.
Fuck.
So we have we get
How?
more top heavy for Joe.
How did you
Against
guys
all odds.
grift? How did you grift this getting into an S, you little bastards?
Maybe you should have watched it or gotten your roommate to watch
To be
it
fair,
with you.
I can't be mad because we did exactly this with Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes.
Yeah, and you can't be mad, Ryan, because you watched the wrong fucking film when we got to
Hey,
that.
I watched Guardians. It's just the wrong galaxy.
Doesn't count. Doesn't count.
Wrong galaxy, alright? It's an easy mistake to make. You guys went to 65B, I went to 65C. I thought you said B, not
What's up
C.
with these numbers that you're like?
He's pulling them. He's pulling them out of your ass, Deacon.
I put them out of the
Oh,
ether.
damn.
All right,
The voice
so
speaks to me and they tell me the number.
I'm pulling away from this ass conversation. I'm keeping the ass out of this. I'm going to use a little bit of movie, and I'm going to use a little bit of magic, and we're going to pop it into its thing. Right. So makes me angry. Makes me angry. Right, all right.
The podcast is
We're
named
back.
after the film. Okay,
Movie,
maybe that being is more of a
magic,
Blessing in disguise that it looks like we knew
sprinkling,
what we were doing.
pixie dust all over the rating system. It's been put... Clearly, it was more like demon dust, because it's been put in S tier by mistake,
Honestly, what
clearly.
shocked me more is that Dekos agreed and put it S tier. I thought he was going to put, like, BC.
Oh,
Degas is probably tripping balls or something.
But
What are you attempting to put in B? What's the disparity there? There's a B or an S. I
was in. Just shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that's fair. You know, you're feeling S. I can't bash you. It's how you're feeling. It's an opinion. It's all based on feeling. None of it's to do with facts. So I can't bash you.
My feelings are valid.
Your feelings are valid, but they're not factual. That's what an opinion is. All right.
Valid.
That's why opinions can't be wrong, because there's no factual evidence to like most of the time to back them up. It's just based on human feelings, and you can't disprove them. So
I feel
that's why arguments are weird, because it's just too. What are you talking about this? Damn you, Ryan, and damn you, Dekos. What's to know with anyone but Joe? Where we get to know what anyone but Joe wants to know. Why does bread taste weird sometimes?
It's chemical. If you're eating white bread, it's chemical. That's why.
Yeah. White bread is chemical, but also, yeah, I do.
Well, white bread is literally just like cake. That's not cake.
Yeah, I think it is. But like brown, I've always noticed like wholemeal.
No. Cameron, stop! Don't move on.
What?
In a way,
Cake?
everything that isn't cake is.
Have you ever
cake
had?
that isn't cake.
Have you guys ever had bread from Europe or America? Have you ever eaten like toasted bread? It is cake. That is what it is.
There is. So in Ireland, Subway's bread, I think it's like the Hearty Italian or something, contains enough sugar that it passes a certain threshold, so that it's categorized illegally as a bread, as a cake product, not as a bread.
That is beautiful.
It's like an extra tax or some shit.
Yeah, that's why. I guess that's why it tastes weird. Too much sugar. So many sugar and chemicals in your bread.
If it's stale, that
Yeah.
that's when bread.
Stale is also about the mold. But when it's if you've left the packet open overnight, it gets a little moldy, tastes a little stanky then. But you know what? Yeah, a solid baguette.
Maybe if you're very hungry, and so you want some bread, and you're near a duck pond anyway, and floating sort of in like the algae. There's a bit of like slightly gone off bread. I mean, it looks alright. It passes the sniff test, as most off bread does, which is one of life's biggest problems.
Depends on the bread.
The number one leading killer of men in the greater Glasgow area.
That is not. There's no stats to back that up. I don't think one person's died from bread in that area in the last year.
Jerry on Twitter said it was true.
Goddamn Jerry!
I believe Jerry because he claimed he was from Mozambique, and no one from Mozambique has ever lied in the past.
Okay, well, thanks for listening, folks. That was The Worst Person in the World, the movie, and what we thought of it. We gave it a cheeky S tier I say against my will, but I didn't really have much will in the thing. So
you would have if you watched it.
I would have if I'd watched it. It's fine.
It.
Everyone does it that 1 week. I know Digos hasn't watched it 1 week. Joe hasn't watched the film 1 week. Ryan hasn't seen the film 1 week. It happens. Stuff happens. Stuff gets in the way. Just roll with it.
I was gonna say false, but I mean, I technically did watch 2 films.
Shut up!
They were
You
just both
shut up!
film.
You know what you did, and everyone
It
knew
was a
what
Guardians clone. I say I get half marks.
Thanks for listening this week, folks. We'll be back next week with. So, what did we end up voting on with that? Because it was Joe's choice.
Yeah, Joe is absent. He told me about this, and we are going to be watching what Joe has described as the second worst movie on Netflix. He was going to pick the worst film, but the worst film is Enter the Anime, which is a documentary. And after last time, we agreed never again.
Never again. It's tough. It's tough.
I don't know.
Oh.
I feel like we should watch a David Attenborough documentary, just because
they're not movies though; they're TV series, and that's why we'll never do a David Attenborough film.
We'll do it once we'll do it once he's dead.
Oh my god!
We'll do it. Well,
if David Attenborough dies in the next week, you know who did it.
It wasn't me. It was the bread. It was the weird tasting bread that killed him. I bet he ate one with the little seeds that went down his throat.
There we go. There's another reason bread tastes weird. It was poisoned by Cameron to murder well-respected.
Don't worry, David Attenborough. It's not poison. It's just icing in the middle of 2 buns. Go ahead, take a bite.
Why does every podcast we do devolve to bread or cats? This one had both.
Oh my god, yeah. Actually,
Adam
evolved it into bread again.
He did. He brought that bread.
Are we the bread boys?
That could be the name of our bakery. The Bread Boys.
I reckon if we got big enough, we could make Bread Boys merch.
We could make Bread Boys merch.
100%. Our viewers can be called the Bread Boys.
The Bread Boy.
Oh.
Subscribe right now to become
Subscribe right now and become an honorary Bread Boy member. Yeah, hit the subscribe button.
Also be Bread Boys as well. The
Give us a like, leave a comment.
Gendered the script.
Leave a comment saying either Bread Boys or say either James Corden or Adolf Hitler, so we can decide who the worst person, the worst human in history of humanity is. Remember, don't forget about that. And look at our socials. We got TikTok, Instagram, all that sort of stuff. You know, just
did we say the film? No, we didn't.
Wait, we never actually said. We got sucked up by bread.
I was saying the documentary, and then you talked about David Attenborough.
The bread.
Okay, Joe was talking to me about this, and the film that we picked. It's called He's All That. It stars YouTuber and TikToker Addison Rae, who's trying to become a film star.
Not that film. No.
Yes,
I didn't know it was that. No!
No, it's gonna be awful beyond belief. You have to. I mean, maybe this is advocating too much, but I have seen the original She's All That, and that is so bad it's good. So this could just be so bad it's bad.
It won't. Right, thanks for listening this week, folks. We're gonna wrap it up here. Yeah. All right. See you guys. Say bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Beautiful.